Anybody here? Hello, hello. This is Jen with Jen's Den Art, and I want to welcome you to my page today for our Creators Halloween Bash. I am live here. At least I hope I'm live. Let's see if people can see me. Let's see. Come on, let's work today. Yay, I see 2 people. All right, I think we're working. So I'm going to say hi again. My name is Ginger LaCour. I am the owner and founder of Jen's Den Art. I am an acrylic artist. I have a monthly membership where we paint together weekly. Pretty, I guess you could say, like adult-like acrylic paintings. And today we are going to paint an adult-like acrylic painting. So say hello, tell me where you are from, and I am setting up my little stash here for all of you. And I'm going to show you what I'm doing today. This is going to be super, super fun. It is something that I love. Let me use this side. It's something that I love doing, and it's basically just painting with acrylic paint. Most of the time I use either wood surfaces or canvases. Today we're going to use a wood surface because that is my favorite to do. Hello, Patty and Carrie and Cindy. Love my costume. Well, you know, we're big hunters over here in the beautiful state of Montana. So when I was told I had to dress up, I was like, okay, let's see what we're going to do here. And this is it. This is what we have on today. We might actually go elk hunting tonight, so that'll be fun. So G.Love, Jennifer says she's bringing in some G.Love today. Hey, Jennifer, thank you for being here. So G.Dat, if you look behind me, you see it says G.Dat. That is the name of my membership. It is called Jen's Den Art Tribe. So when you see people say G.Dat sister in the house, that is what they're talking about. So hello. Thank you all for being here. All right, so let me share today with you what we're going to be doing. I have a photo of the final product. Let me show it to you. So this is, let me take me off of the main page here. All right, there we go. So this is what we're going to be making today on a piece of wood. Okay, well, let's see if we can turn that around. You can see, if you look at the type of painting style, you can see that I'm a very impressionistic, loose painter. So I have laid out everything here that you are going to need if you want to try to recreate this product. The first thing is a piece of wood. Okay, this is a piece of wood you can buy. You don't have to use wood, y'all. You can use a canvas. The size that I'm using is a 10 by 20, 10 inches wide and 20 inches long. And that's just it's a good size for a welcome sign to put, like maybe right by your door when you come in, or I actually put this in my house. So you can use wood, you can use canvas, you can use anything. You can use anything, actually. So let me show you what I have here. These are all the colors that we're going to be working with today. Notice, I get this question all the time. What kind of paint do you use? I use acrylic heavy body paints, okay? Most of the time, I don't use the craft paints just because most of my paintings, I sell my paintings in art stores. All right, so because I sell my paintings in art stores, I like to use a more professional grade paint. So that's why you see all of these different brands here. Anything from Blick to Master's Touch, which is a Hobby Lobby brand, to Liquitex, and I also use Creative Inspirations. So here's our color palette that we're going to be working with today. The first thing is we're going to need some type of blue for a sky, okay? It does not matter what kind of blue, but this is what I'm going to be using today. It's cerulean blue. Does not have, y'all, I'm so sorry about the disconnection. I don't know what's going on and why it keeps on going out and in. I will tell you this, just a few minutes ago, I broke my iPhone. Just a few minutes ago, I broke my iPhone. It does not hold a charge. So I'm using my husband's Samsung to do this. And I had to set it up like the last 15 minutes. I had to figure out how to set it up. And so I don't know how to use a Samsung phone. And I don't know why it keeps going in and out like that. So after this live today, guess where I am headed? I'm headed to the Verizon store to get me a new iPhone. Okay? Yeah. I dropped my phone in the toilet yesterday. And it got wet. So I stuck it in rice. You know how they say to stick it in rice? Well, guess what? One of the little pieces of rice got stuck in the little charger thing. And I had to try to pry it out. And now the charger thing doesn't work. So welcome to the fun world of Ginger. So yeah, that's my story today. How's your day going? So anyway, anybody have any good stories of how they broke their iPhone? All right, so we're going to use blue, of course. We're also going to use green today. These are the two greens that I pulled from my stash. It's just a regular old grass green. It does not have to be chrome oxide green. And this is called light olive green, but it could just be some type of lime green. You don't even have to have the lime green. You can just use the regular green and mix yellow in it, yellow and white, and it's going to help you get that really lime color. So I'm going to put these aside as I talk about them. Okay, so that's the colors we're going to be using there. And then we're also going to be, making sunflowers. We're going to be painting sunflowers. So my sunflowers are going to be a variety of these colors. Okay, some yellows, some golds, some oranges, maybe just a little teeny bit of red. I'm not sure. We're going to see as we go. So these are my yellows. Let me put all of those aside. Here is a very important color. It is called burnt umber, aka dark brown. Okay, just a dark brown, like a chocolate brown, something like that. We're going to be using that. I have a purple, but you can make purple with blue and red. So if you have blue and you have red, you can make a purple. All right, you can see the color of this purple. It's called dioxanine. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Purple. All right, and then of course I like to put my blacks and whites in little tubes here or little bottles because I use so much. So titanium white, black. I also have another thing of titanium white. And then this color here is one of my favorite colors that I probably use. If you painted with me before, I use this color on just about every single painting. And it is called Payne's Gray. Do y'all see that? Paynes. Oops. Payne's Gray is like a navy blue. Okay. It is not a necessary color, but I'm just going to have that there just in case because I know I always bring out my Payne's Gray whenever I'm painting. Okay. Sandra says the grandkids put her phone in the mop water bucket while she was mopping. Yeah. Spread the paint, sprinkle the love. Thank you, Grace. All right. So yeah, give me expensive piece of rice. Isn't that true, Mel? See you later, Mel. Thanks for coming on. Hopefully, now I do have a little fix for this, and I'm hoping this will work. Have y'all ever used these kind of chargers that you just stick your phone on? It's called a phone suite. So I can charge it like this. I can do that, but I can't nothing works when I plug it in. And normally when I go live, I have it plugged in above me. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's probably more information than y'all want to know about that. But anyway, I just shared it with all of y'all because you know I like to talk when I am live. All right. So here we go. I took the piece of wood, and I'm going to show you again what I did. I took the piece of wood and I washed it, and I'm going to show you what I mean by washing it. I took some burnt umber, some brown paint. Where's my water? Just a bottle of water, and I'm going to put some water in here. So actually, I think I have burnt umber and maybe a little bit of burnt sienna in here, and then I have some water. And I already did this part because I wanted it to dry, but I have a second piece of wood I'm going to show you. I'm just taking my acrylic paint and I'm putting some water in it, and I'm washing the wood with it. See? And it kind of looks like it's stained. So that was the first step, and I've already done that first step. So you're going to take your paint and you're going to make the wood look like it's stained by doing a wash. Okay, and you're just going to keep on doing that. You're going to cover the whole thing. So like I said, I did that first because I wanted to let it dry. Let me just wipe that off a little bit. And so that's what step one was. And so now I have this piece of wood that already has what looks like a stain on it, but it's actually acrylic paint. All right, so now we are going to start actually painting our painting. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take some blue. If I can open the blue. I cannot open it. Michael. Well, he's not there. I got it open. Okay, very, very little. Y'all see how much paint I have on there? I don't like to put my paint out in advance because acrylic paints dry so fast that once I start putting the paint out, and we live in a very, very dry climate. We live in Montana. You probably don't think I'm originally from Montana. If you're watching me for the first time, I would love to know. Because Sprinkle, thank y'all so much for sprinkling. Hey, Miss Leona and Miss Pat. And no, I don't think am I frozen? I don't think I'm frozen. Hey, Kathy, how are you? So anyway, I am putting out just a little bit of paint as I go. I'm originally from Louisiana, if you were wondering, because of my accent. I'm going to put a lot of white because I use a lot of white. And I'm going to put a little bit of black over here. I don't really need a lot of black. Just going to put a little bit over there. Black goes very, very far, so you don't need a lot of it at all. And so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start by giving myself kind of like a horizon area right about here. Okay, and I'm just using a large flat brush, y'all. Just a large flat brush. I'm going to take just a little bit of that blue and I'm going to mix it in the white. Now, notice how I'm loading the brush. I'm taking both sides of my paintbrush and I'm turning it over, up and down. And I'm getting a lot of paint in there because when you work on wood, the wood like really absorbs the paint fast. So you need to have a lot of paint on your brush. So if you like to paint, I would love for you to let me know if you like to paint, because this is definitely a painting that will be so much fun. And not only are we painting, but we're also doing a little bit of calligraphy. And I'm going to show you how to do that as well when we go through this whole process. So I don't want a really, really blue sky. I just want it to be really muted. And notice how I'm just kind of scrubbing it on here. I don't want to cover the whole wood. I like the look of that rustic wood showing through. So that's going to be basically the background Okay, and now I'm going to do the background. The bottom is going to be like a light green. So I'm going to grab some of this green. I'm going to put very little. Ooh, let's see if I have some left in here. Let's see if I can get that out. I think it's clogged up at the end. Yep, it is. There we go. Okay. That's what happens when you don't put the cover back on your paint. All right, so I didn't even clean my paintbrush off, y'all. I'm just loading up again with the white, but now I'm going with the green. Okay, lots of white and a little bit of green. And you see that color? It's just a really, really muted green color. I'm just going to come all the way across. If you want your paint to move, okay, acrylic paints are really, really stubborn when you paint with them on wood. So if you want your paint to move, don't be shy about the amount of paint you put on your paintbrush, and also make sure you wet your paintbrush. Stick your paintbrush in your water and just dip it in, and it's going to make the paint move much, much better for you. So I'm just kind of scrubbing, just doing a little bit of scrubbing here, making this very, very loose. And you don't hear an accent, Michael? Good. I'm glad you don't hear an accent. So we've been getting snow on and off for the last couple of days. So it's been really, really beautiful out here. Originally from New Orleans, but now living in Indiana. Oh, Michelle, welcome to Jen's Den Art. So glad to have you here. I think I've seen you around a few times, Michelle, on some of our lives. Hello, Annette. Thank you for sprinkling. All right, I'm cleaning my paintbrush off. Yep, Miss Sandra, I needed to get another live another phone for my lives. You're right, because I want to set up more than one. So kind of excited. I'm gonna go get a new phone today. Hopefully, I'll get a new phone today. We'll see how that works. Okay, so that's all I'm doing. I have the top horizon is the sky, and then of course from here on down, you can already kind of see where we're going with this. This is going to be all of the ground, and then from here on up, that's all of the sky area. I'm still using the same paintbrush. It's just a large flat brush. All right, so this is what I'm going to do next. I'm going to take this same paintbrush. I'm going to grab my burnt umber, and I'm going to identify where I want. Let me show you what I'm doing again. I'm going to identify where I want my sunflowers by creating the center of the sunflower. Okay, I'm just going to create the center of the sunflower. So I've got one hanging out over here. Does not have to be a perfect oval. Remember, I told you I'm a very loose painter. I do not try to make things perfect at all. Okay, there's another one. There's going to be a big one right here. So I'm using my burnt umber, and I'm just making the centers. The next one is going to be about right here, just a little bit smaller. Let me grab some of that black because I'm running out of my burnt umber. A little bit of black. I added just a little bit of black to my palette. Let's get one going right here. Just kind of like a little oval. And then one last one, just a little teeny one right there. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do there. And I'm just going to clean my paintbrush off. And here's the fun part, y'all. You will not believe how easy this is. I'm not changing brushes. I'm sticking with this one brush. It's taken me this far. It'll continue to take me where I want it. So I'm going to add some different colors onto my palette here. And I'm basically going to start working on the background of the sunflowers. I'm not going to do the yellow yet. I want to get those leaves and that kind of that background color in. So I'm going to go with green. I'm just adding all my colors on my palette for me. Green, a little bit of purple, a little bit of purple. I know it doesn't look purple, but look, it is. It looks black at first when you put it because the pigment is so strong in these good professional grade paints that they don't look like the color they are at first when you put them on the palette. Okay, so I'm going to put some blue. And then I also have some Payne's Gray, which is a navy blue. But I'm going to add just a teeny bit more of that. Just a teeny bit more. So let me walk you through these colors again, and let me add some white. I always like to add some more white to everything I'm doing. So I'm going to add me a nice little pile of white right there. So let me talk you through these colors again. I have two greens. I have just like a grass green and a lime green. I have a dark purple. This is black. This is a navy blue. It's called Payne's Gray. And then just a regular blue as well. So here we go. Here's where the fun starts. I'm going to take this green and I'm going to add just a teeny bit of blue in it. I love mixing colors together. I am a color mixer. It is one of the most fun things to do. So a little bit of blue, a little bit of green, kind of making like a little greeny turquoisey color. A little bit more blue. Okay, and watch how fun this is. Watch how fun this is. You make it whatever color you want it to be. Full, my paintbrush is full. See how much paint I have on that paintbrush? All right, so I'm going to start coming over here and I'm just going to push down with the side of the brush in different areas. And I'm envisioning this in my head. I'm like, okay, I'm going to have some big leaves out over here. And look, if you want to be a loose painter, you have to move fast. You have to move fast through your painting, okay? Don't think about it, just do it. So I'm adding a little bit more green, a little bit more blue. Just putting some marks. Let's go with some more white. Let's make a little bit less bright. Let's go with just green. Have fun. Have fun. Some of this is going to be covered up, y'all, but that's okay. Now I'm going to grab this blue and this Payne's Gray, and I'm going to, look at that color just makes me happy. This Payne's Gray is probably my favorite color. Look at that, how pretty. Isn't that a beautiful color? So I'm going to come back here and I'm just going to add some fun. Just in a few areas. Let's get some of that blue in there, okay? Look, it looks like a big mess right now, but that's okay. I don't mind. Now let's grab some purple and let's go back. Oh, look at that. Look at those colors. Is that not happy stuff? That is just so pretty. Look at that. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to put la la la. I don't know where I want to put them, but I'm just going to have fun. And let's go higher. Let's go up here. I'm looking at my original and I have some pieces all the way up here that are coming through. Let's go with a little bit of white. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. What do y'all think? I think that's good. So, looks like a big mess, but that's okay. Watch what happens when you put those sunflowers in there. You have to trust the process. That is so, so, so right. Trust that process. Hey, Dawn, thanks for coming on and saying hi. Have fun watching your grandbaby. I bet you that's super fun. Enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it. Okay, so now let me just push this up just a little bit so I can put my palette right here. Just to show you what I'm going to do now. This is going to be so much fun. Okay, I'm going to go with some orange. Don't be stingy on the paint. Don't be stingy on the paint. So I've got orange. I've got a cadmium yellow deep hue. Let me see where I have another yellow that I wanted to use, but I don't see it around. So cadmium yellow. This is like a school bus yellow. Look at that. Oh, this just looks delicious. And this is yellow ochre. It's like an antique gold color. Okay. So this is my color palette. I didn't even use this lime green yet. I think I'm going to come back and use some of that later. So I'm going to hold on to that for now. And now we're going to take out the palette knife. Let's do our palette work. Okay, let me get this back in the center. All right. Hey, Jenny. How are you? Thank you, Michael. You are very sweet. This is going to be a good palette knife for me. Okay, see that one? It's just a basic palette knife. And when you use a palette knife, which you'll see that a lot of my paintings, I use both palette knives and paintbrushes. So when you use a palette knife, you use a lot more paint. Look how thick and pretty this paint is. It's almost like sour cream. Isn't that pretty? Y'all, I'm an acrylic paint crazy person who loves all colors. Okay. So this sunflower right here, I'm going to make it look like it opens down. Okay, so I'm going to take my palette knife and I'm going to scrape some of this yellow paint on here. And I'm going to make it all the way around this. So what I'm doing right now is I'm making this sunflower look like it's pointing down. Okay, I kind of wrapped around that centerpiece like that. And now I'm going to make this sunflower. I'm just using the yellow right now. I'm going to make this sunflower have some big petals that just kind of go crazy all the way around this center. Do not worry about being perfect, y'all. That's the fun of it. Just do it. Just do it. Now, you do not have to use a palette knife. You could definitely use a paintbrush, but you're not going to get the texture that you're going to get with a palette knife. Let's keep on going. You'll see how loose I am. Like there is no rhyme or reason in this. It's just, let's just have fun. Let's just have fun. That's all it is. Okay, I need some more paint. Let's get some more of this yellow on my palette. Isn't it starting to look awesome? Have you ever put sour cream on a baked potato? It's kind of, you kind of have the same feeling when you're doing this. And look, it's okay if they kind of cross over each other. Let's make this one open this way. All right, so these petals are going to kind of come over the center, and I'm going to make this sunflower look like it's facing to the left. Kind of wrap it around. See how it looks like it's facing that way? Super cool. All right, let's see if I can pick up just the rest of this yellow here without having to put more on my palette. My paint palette, that is. I might need to add a little bit more. Trying to save as much paint as I can without adding more. Okay. First layer done. What do y'all think? We're coming around pretty good here. Love the texture. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Sherry. Yeah, my style is very loose. Missy Lane, how are you? We are doing great. Thank you for asking. Cindy says she loves the texture. I love the texture as well. All right, so here goes. I'm going to now grab some of this orange. I am not super crazy about how bright this orange is because it just kind of like it's almost hurting my eyes. It's so bright. So this is what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to mix in a little bit of white, and I'm going to mix in the rest of that yellow. And I think I'm even going to take some of this gold and just kind of calm down that orange just a little bit. See how it's kind of changing? It's not so bright. I like it. Okay, I actually think I want some more white in it. I'm just kind of making it a little bit softer. So let's add more. Okay, that looks a little bit better. All right, so let's go again. Not as much paint. And I'm just kind of highlighting what I already have. But not only am I just highlighting, I'm looking at where my petals are, and I'm kind of trying to grab my petals and just add some of that orange on top of the petals that I've already put there. And then I'm going to add a couple of petals too. Let's add one right there in between and kind of make it fill up a little bit. Let's do that. And look, I'm working in a situation where, because I'm live and y'all are watching me, I'm keeping my board straight up and down. But I want to share with y'all, it would probably be super easy for you because I'm a right-handed person. It would probably be super easy or a lot easier for you if you took your board and you just turned it so that your strokes could follow the same direction of your arm. So you might want to turn your board like this, like I'm doing, so that you can get a better stroke. Since I'm right-handed and it's very comfortable for me to pull to the right, then turning my board is much better for me than just trying to keep my board in one direction. Okay. All right, so that is layer 2. I'm cleaning off my palette knife, and I think I want a brighter yellow, y'all. So how am I going to do a brighter yellow? I'm going to show y'all what I'm going to do. I am going to take this same yellow that I've already had, and I'm going to add it in my white. And I'm going to stir it up. You'll see that? Okay, look how much brighter that yellow is. Look how pretty that is. So it's going to be a really, really light yellow. There we go. That makes me happy. So watch what that's going to do. All right. More layers is more dimension. Every time you do more layers, you just get more dimension. Let me put this over here. Get that bright yellow on here. Oops, I pressed too hard. Did y'all see that? I pressed too hard with my palette knife and it scraped onto the board where the blue showed through. So don't do that. Just kind of really, really lightly put your paint on trying to make my petals a little bit longer. Let's get those things popping. Another layer, another layer. There we go. This one needs some work. I kind of left him hanging out here by himself, not really taking care of him very much. So let me take care of this little baby right here. He needs some attention. He's screaming for attention. There we go. Okay, let me take a step back. I really like this one. This one's coming out really good. Let me add a little bit of orange right there. Okay, let's hit some of this gold. Now, I'm going to be very, very strategic in this gold. It is my final layer, and I want it to be kind of like the last layer that kind of ties in the ends of the sunflower into the center. So notice what I'm doing. I take my palette knife, and I might go back to a paintbrush in just a minute. I take my palette knife, and I'm just taking a little bit of that gold right on the edge. And then I'm just going to kind of tap all the way around and pull that little bit of gold out. And by tapping all the way around, I'm I'm giving myself the opportunity to fill in all of those little areas here that need to be filled in. You know, like connecting the petal to the center of the sunflower. That's my focus. Connect those petals. Let's see, I need a little bit of gold here and here and here. I like to call this, we're putting on our makeup. We're putting on our makeup. Putting on our makeup. I don't know, there's some kind of song that my husband sings about. He said his mama used to sing it to him about putting on your makeup or something, or get up in the morning and you put on your makeup. Do y'all know that song? Sometimes when I start painting, I get very quiet because it's so relaxing. And it brings peace. So it's kind of where I'm going right now with this. It's kind of like my mood. Your mood, you just kind of get calm when you're going through the whole process. Do y'all ever feel like that when you're painting? Love the sunflowers. Thank you, Facebook user. What's your favorite palette knife or paintbrush? That's a great question, Holly. I love filbert brushes. That's probably my favorite. See how it has a nice rounded edge. I love long-handled paintbrushes, long-handled, because it allows me to be really, really loose in my paintings. So I hold the paintbrush way far back. I don't have a favorite palette knife. It just depends on what I'm doing. But I really love the trick of using these palette knives, the ones with the rounded edge, to make pumpkins and to make certain flowers and stuff. I really like the ones with the rounded edge on the end. If you're making leaves, I like to use these kind of palette knives. I probably have about 30 different palette knives, so I can't really say. In my acrylic 101, I know what song you're talking about, Cindy said. Thank you, Miss C. Lynn Reed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so, yeah, back on track here. Let's add, I'm going to add just a little bit more burnt umber on my palette because this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take my paintbrush because I want to use a paintbrush. I want to show you how you can actually, use both. So I have just this round paintbrush and I'm going to mix a little bit of brown. It's like a burnt umber and the yellow. See what I'm making there? And I'm just going to tap in the center of my sunflowers. I want a little bit more yellow. So I'm just going to tap. Now I want a little bit of orange. I'm trying to get that right color. There we go. That's what I want. I'm just going to tap, 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 and make the center of my sunflowers look like they actually have little sunflowers in them. And I think I'm going to add a little bit more black right along the edges. And you're going to see why in a second. If y'all can see what I'm doing. And let me take that down. I'm sorry. Y'all can't see everything that's going on. How do I keep the StreamYard comments from popping up on your screen? Can't see what you're painting. I control that, Miss Jane, and so that's why I just took it down so y'all can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit more black just to give it, that black's going to make things pop a little bit more. See, you can already, well, you can't really see from the screen, but in real life, in like if you're looking with like where I'm looking from, you can see a lot better. That black is coming out a lot. It's making everything pop even more. But I don't think y'all can see that too much on the camera. It kind of looks a little, kind of looks the same on the camera. You're welcome, Miss Jane. Song, the morning I wake up, before I put on my makeup, I say a little prayer for you. That's the song. Michael sings that all the time. He said, my mama used to sing that to me all the time. Isn't that sweet? Okay, so that is the gist of what we're doing here. Of course, we're going to do the word welcome, which, you know, if you had everything together and the world was good and you weren't the type of person that dropped your phone in the toilet, you would have done the welcome before you did the sunflowers because you're just that organized. But this is Jen, and Jen sometimes does things in the wrong order. And sometimes I show you what not to do instead of what to do. All right. So that's a perfect example because now since welcome goes way up here, I have a very wet paint going on right here. And if I try to do my welcome and I put my arm in it, I'm just going to mess the whole thing up. So I'm going to have to be very strategic. If it weren't a live video, I would wait until it dried, which would probably be tomorrow or later on tonight before I would even attempt to do the word welcome. But I'm going to show you what I'm going to do now. I'm actually going to use some of this this, what is this? Like a lime green. And I'm going to make myself some stems for my sunflowers with it, since I have it on my palette. And I'm going to add this beautiful, beautiful lime green and just kind of play around with a very, very loosey-goosey. I like that lime green. It really makes things pop. So I'm going to add a stem coming out here. And it may not be the right color of real sunflower stems, but you know what? It's going to be the color for mine. So let's go with a little bit of white. White and lime. Watch that white's going to make it pop even more. You'll see that? I like that color. Let's do another one right here. Totally loosey-goosey. Loosey. Okay, so this stem right here is actually for this flower, kind of like the stem is coming down here. This stem right here is for this one. I'm just kind of making it up as I'm going. That one's for that one. That one's for that one. And then, of course, this one right here. I'm just going to go like that. Okay. Super cute. I want this line to be just a little bit more prominent. So I'm going to come back. See that horizon? It's kind of hidden back there. So I'm just trying to make it show up a little bit more. Okay. I'm going to draw this out to the best of my ability. So I'm going to go with the W. I'm just using like a marker. I mean a chalk what is this called? A charcoal pencil. So I'm not writing. This is something that I try to teach when I do calligraphy. I am not very good at doing letters. I don't use stencils. And every once in a while, I'll make a template for myself and I'll copy and paste it on. I'll copy it with a tracing paper onto my piece. But what I'm doing here is I'm looking at, I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'm looking at, no, I'm not looking at that, am I? Hang on, where did you go? Here it is. Here it is. Okay. So I'm looking at this welcome that I created, and I'm basically just kind of trying to copy the design. That's all I'm doing is I'm trying to copy the same design that I already had going on. Okay. So there's my copy there. And then I'm going to take, now you can take a paint pen, or I'm out of my paint pen that I normally use. I need to get some more. Let me see if I have one right here. Ah, here it is. Let me see if this one will work. If I still have ink in it or paint in it. No, I think it's dried out. Okay, so I'm going to use paint instead. That's the way I've always done mine. And I'm going to show you how easy it actually is. So we're going to use a liner brush. Okay, this is not a good liner brush. Let me get a better one. Here's a good one. All right, so we're going to use a liner brush. This is kind of a big liner brush, but it has a good enough tip on the end of it where it's not going to be that big of a deal. And I like to use paint and a paintbrush to do my lettering, believe it or not, instead of a paint pen. So I'm going to show you how I do this. So I get it kind of inky. All right, I get my black paint kind of like an ink consistency. And if I push hard, it makes a thick line. And then if I want a thin line, I just don't push hard. Okay, so I'm gonna have to put this down because I'm gonna have to hold my arm up to do this. Okay. Whew. I had to hold my breath. All right, let's try this again. All right, so I'm putting my pinky down here because I don't want to mess up. I'm going to push down and then pull up. All right. And I'm going to push down for the L. So most of the time when I do these, I'm not writing, okay? I'm not writing. I am painting. I am trying to create a shape. All right, so that's the way I think of it. I'm not trying to make an L. I'm not trying to make a C. I am trying to copy the shape of these letters onto the board. So I do not use, basically what I'm trying to tell you is you do not have to be someone who has a good handwriting to be able to do this, because I'm not worried about handwriting. I'm worried about just following a shape of something. That's all I'm doing. It's all about the shape. So right now I am only worried about the thick areas. And then I'm going to take this nice little baby. I'm going to turn her around. And I'm going to go back and make the thin lines. Okay. And there we go. There we go. We got it. Okay. Now, once she is dry, look how cute. Once she is dry, love it. Thank you. Can you turn it upside down and do the letters on this? Yep, I didn't even read that comment either. I thought of that on my own. I'm pretty proud of myself. All right, so I may go back in and I'm taking my paintbrush again. And like you see some of these little leaves or what I think are leaves, I may want to make them look a little bit more attached to, you know, something if I want to. So I'm just kind of cleaning up some things. You have as much fun or as little fun as you want, but just take a step back. And another thing you could do is take a picture of it, because it's not like there's no right or wrong here, y'all. That's the fun of these types of paintings. Look, I'm adding a dark color in there. I'm adding like a really, really dark purple that I think will be a nice addition. Making that purple just even darker. There's no right or wrong, y'all, but it's the whole illusion of the impressionistic style is just, it's so popular right now. You know, when you go in Hobby Lobby and you go in Michael's and you see like all of their paintings, they're all very, very, very loose paintings and they have a lot of texture. And so this style is very, very popular right now. And I just happen to be lucky and be like, that's just my style. I started painting 6 or 7 years ago, and that's just the style that I always used. So it is super, super fun. We have I have a monthly membership where we paint stuff like this once a week. And we paint together and we share our prayers and our love of Jesus in there together. And we are a little family in there. So I left my website on the top of the notifications if you're interested in joining our little tribe. We have so much fun in there. Yes, it is a 10 by 20. And we have over 125 painting tutorials in our tribe library. And we paint a new one every week. So if you are interested in joining, just hop on over to my website and you will get more information on that. And I want to thank you all for being here today and being a part of this live experience and this Creators Halloween Bash. So glad that you all came on with me today. And please hit the follow button on my page if you would like to see more of my tutorials. I go live to the public every Wednesday at 3 p.m. It's called New Technique Wednesday, and we paint something. We painted this yesterday on these little tags. So we always paint something together, and we have a lot of fun. So thank you all for being here. I really enjoyed it. I hope you did too. And I will see you next time. Y'all have a great day. Bless.